No.
We're live. Yay! Welcome everyone to another amazing client spotlight. I'm super excited to be here and introduce this little rock star right there. We were just talking that we don't know which side to point at.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, welcome Rachel Letham, our vision board queen, who's here today to share her awesome journey with us. And I'm so excited to have her here. I first met her in Content to Clients Challenge, where she was really showing up as the leader that she is, but also sharing amazing stories about strawberry kiwis and
Oh,
winning a
look,
lot
also, you
of.
can't see, I've got my special strawberry top on for you, especially.
Oh, I love it.
Actually, it's new and I wanted to wear it today. And then I was like, oh, yes, it ties in to the story.
And do you know what? Since then, I haven't come across strawberry kiwis in any shop. Isn't that ridiculous?
It's probably not the season for them.
Well, that's the one thing that you don't know about Rachel, which we'll not get into too much tonight, is that she's a fruit expert.
A weird double life.
In her past life, she was a fruit expert. In her current life, she's a self-care and vision board queen, and she's went from having a little low-key side hustle to an absolute legendary business, coaching the likes of Google and Target. So welcome, Rachel. Before we get started, how about you introduce yourself and you tell us and the people who don't know you very well yet, who are you? What do you do? Why are you so awesome?
I think you did quite a good job explaining, actually. I love that. But yeah, I am a positive mindset and vision board coach. Actually, that's weird because normally that comes out as positive mindset and self-care coach. But I was thinking about the vision board is really the tool that I like to bring in. Now, this is going to be tricky because I'm going to go this way so you can see mine on the wall just there.
Yes, very good. Pointing the camera in the right direction.
Yes, and I had a very successful corporate career in the world of fruit, which most people just don't even think about. And I'm all about now thinking about how you can use vision boards for your personal development, but also for business strategy, because I have a kind of strategic brain, I have a creative brain, and I want to bring it all together. So I'm all about how to have a more positive mindset and also have more self-care in your day-to-day life so that you can do all the things you want to do, but also keep calm and relaxed and not be super stressed out.
So, how did you get into vision boards yourself? Like, what was your first experience with vision boards?
Yeah, mine have kind of grown and grown. So actually, I literally took them downstairs yesterday to a different room, but I've got like a collection of them now. So mine used to be like A4. Now this one is like A1 or something ridiculous. It's huge. I used to be, for a very short period of time, I used to be in a network marketing company and I wasn't very good at selling product, but I love doing the personal development and I love doing the training and all the kind of fun stuff that we love as coaches. And I think it was from there that I kind of heard about vision boards and I was quite intrigued. I'm quite a creative person, but not in terms of drawing and stuff like that. I like to use magazines to do it and the tech to do it. So I have all these ideas in my head and I found it was just a really good way of like getting it all out of paper, getting it out of my like crazy mind and getting it clear and a bit more focus and structure. So probably about 5 or 6 years ago now, I think. And I shared this a couple of weeks ago on Instagram, but basically for the one that was about 5 years ago, I had a picture of this house that we're in here right now, right in the middle. And I wrote my address down, the address for here, every single day for 18 months, because we tried to buy this house 3 or 4 times. It was so stressful. And so that was my inspired action, was to write the address, to the point where I would like fill out a form for something else and write the wrong address. It was so funny. So it's not just about creating this lovely, cutting it out, sticking, pasting stuff on the wall. It's taking inspired action every day as well. So things over time have been ticked off. And I think it's a really magical, fabulous tool.
I think it is, especially looking at you. Because the way we got to know each other over the past few months, whatever you wouldn't put on that board, it was like a magic spell. You would just create a plan of action and you would get that thing. If it wasn't on the board, it probably wouldn't happen. But because you've created that visual aid and a goal and a step-by-step plan, it was just all manifesting itself into being, right?
Yeah, I have what I like to describe as shiny object syndrome. So if something new and exciting comes along, like there's a new course or like a new thing to do or a new bit of tech, I just want to do it because naturally my like intrinsic value is to grow. That's growth is one of my values. So I use the vision board to like calm myself down and be like, actually, does whatever's coming this way fit in with what's on the board, what your goals are, what you want to achieve? And if not, I've got like a whiteboard kind of sticky sheet on the wall next to me. I like throw all my ideas onto there, so they can still be there and the ideas can come and go, but it's a really good tool for like focusing the mind. And that's what has been really useful for me as I've been developing and growing and changing what I've been doing.
So tell me, what was on the board and in your mind when you joined the Content to Clients Challenge initially? Like, what was life back then and what were your goals?
So I'm just looking at this one because it's like, it's weird. This one is slightly similar. So I had a lot of, and this was like, I did it during COVID, but I had a lot of like laptop screens with lots of like Zoom people on there. So like big groups of people presenting to big groups of people, sharing my message, the word community. And I think I kind of evolved during your course 3 or 4 times. I was like, right, I've had this new idea. This is what I'm going to do now. But we like slowly unraveled it, didn't we? Of what do I really want to do? So I think there was the sense of presenting to big groups of people. I prefer coaching in groups rather than one-to-one.
Yeah.
Don't really know why, but I do.
Same, actually.
Yeah.
I prefer groups as well.
It's
I think
the energy.
Energy, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And so there was kind of like motivation, focus, progression, and growth was like what I wanted to achieve in this like global audience.
Global audience. I like that. I like that. And when was it challenging for you, the Content to Clients Challenge? What was it like? Were you struggling to write content in the past, or was it something that you just wanted to refresh in your mind and things like that? Because the challenge coming up, guys.
Yeah, the challenge is good. So actually, I kind of cheated in the challenge. I'm sure I told you this because so there's 2 things to the challenge. Because I have this shiny object syndrome thing, when I sign up to something like your challenge, I want to make sure now that I actually finish it rather than get halfway through and forget or just fizzle out. So I was really focused. So when you were like, right, guys, this is the homework, I was already like, okay, I'm doing it now. But also I have a small child. So like if I have time to do something, I had to focus in and get shit done, as I like to say. But the reason I say I cheated slightly is because I had already slightly tried to change my LinkedIn profile to be talking in the kind of way that you were telling us to tell stories and create our messaging and kind of be slightly different and go out there. And so I, for the first 3 kind of bits of homework, I'd already done that, but I needed to tweak it and I needed to almost like own it and I needed to put it in other places. So yes, it was on LinkedIn, but I hadn't changed like how I was doing stuff on Facebook and stuff like that. So it was a really good push for me to be a bit stronger about what I was doing and just go and do it.
And truly, like you said, I think that's a big part of all of us as we go out there and try to shine our light, is owning our value and getting out there and just, yeah, here I am. And this is where I'm at. Come on.
Yeah, realizing that actually some of what I said I did, that wasn't actually what I did anymore. And I really needed to change that up. So you asked quite a lot of challenging and powerful questions. And that's like, it was really good for me to sit back and go, well, that's what I've said before, but is that still relevant? How do I really feel about that? And so I love the challenge because A, I finished it, and B, it really got me thinking. But it was a really good like focus point, like of just, let's do this now, let's create some really good energy, and then like you've got some stuff to move forwards with and get in the right mindset of how you should be creating content.
I think you've touched on a really interesting point here about that evolvement, constant evolvement, checking back in with yourself, being triggered by a powerful question, and then reevaluating, like, is this message still aligned with the offer I've got or with the direction that I'm going in? I think this happens to so many of us, and we think that once we've done the work ends, and that there's no sort of tweaking and turning it, but the whole thing about our growth is about like checking back with yourself. Is this messaging still relevant to what I'm actually selling? Are my values still leading me the way that we're meant to in the first place? Am I still congruent in a way with what I stand for?
And then actually I changed it all like 3 times after doing the challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
We worked together on a program, but it's fine. I'm sticking where I am right now. No
Absolutely. So you're a mum, just like I
problem.
am. How is it running business with a small child? Because you've achieved these great things that we'll be talking about in a second, but tell us how it is, because you're a mum. And it's quite hard running a business whilst being a mother and doing all these things. So how you manage
It is. So I think probably my kind of corporate background and my operations director mindset means that I like have a plan. There is a program in my mind. It doesn't always go to plan, but I'm quite organized. So that's been my kind of speciality, is like have the focus. He now goes to nursery for an extra day, which is amazing. So now I have 4 days to super focus. And then that means that on the Friday and then the weekend, I'm now focusing on him, rather than before I was being really like scattergun all the time. My mind was always thinking about the business, and I wasn't kind of giving either enough attention and focus. So now we've sorted out kind of childcare a bit better. I've sorted out the structure of how I run my business. And also I do a lot of stuff at this time of night when he is asleep. So that's been my kind of golden ticket, is to harness time zones that appeal to me. So I do a lot of my prep work and all my kind of creative work during the day. But I do a lot of my coaching and workshops and webinars in the evening, because that works for me. And oddly, although I am a morning person, I still have the energy in the evening to do it.
And you're a self-care queen. So how do you take care of yourself during this time? So you don't
Well, I've got the wine, as I said.
Love it.
But no, so for example, this morning, so this is where I come into the planning. So I plan out my week. There is a new weekly planner available in my Self-Care Survival Kit shop that I've just created. So that's awesome. But I literally, on a Sunday night, I'll plan out the week. I go through all my appointments. I go through all of what I want to create and all I want to do. But I have like a habit tracker. So these are my 5 non-negotiables. These are the things I want to do every single day to be feeling the best version of myself. So drinking enough water, doing affirmations, doing gratitude journaling. And then, for example, like doing my bar class and my spins. This morning, took my son to nursery in my kind of gym kit, came home, did like a 45-minute bar class, and then cracked on with my day. So I fit it in to the space that I know I can do it, and be in the, it will energize me for the rest of the day. So I can do my fitness then. And then things like, I always make sure I end the day reading, because I find that really relaxing and calming. So it's like, what are the things that are important to you to nourish your body, mind, and soul? So it's not always physical, it's mental and emotional too. Sometimes it is a glass of wine, sometimes it's going to have a chat with a friend. So it's just making sure that you're weaving that into your day and your week, rather than getting to the end of the week and feeling absolutely crap and realizing,
right? We got to give from the full cup.
Exactly.
Yeah. So tell us what your business looked like before you joined the program, because I think a lot of people want to know how you've made the leap.
Yes. So I had a group coaching mastermind of 5 women. Interestingly, now it's only 3. That's a shift. So I had a group coaching mastermind. I do freelance creative work for a couple of different clients. And then I have my self-care shop, which is online. I have a newsletter that I send out every month. And then I had a couple of one-to-one clients, so like once a month, not high price point. And I think when we did the challenge, I'd launched my course. So I have an evergreen lifetime access vision board course online. So that I'd launched that, but I think it was quite early days.
By the way, if anyone's watching and you're thinking, okay, this vision board queen, I need a bit of her in my life, then go and check out her vision board course, because it's really good.
I'll put the link in the chat at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. It is worth it, especially that the likes of Google and Target are taking it now. So please tell us, where are you now with your business? What are we celebrating?
We are celebrating. So now I like to say I'm a vision board coach for tech companies, predominantly in the US. And yeah, so I've presented at Google's Development Relation Conference. I've presented at Google's Women in Hardware Summit. I've been booked by a company called Cargo, who are a tech company. I did a 3-session vision board thing with them, but now I also teach them meditation and mindfulness every 2 weeks. So that's quite cool. Yeah, Target is next week. And who else? That's about it for now. But yes, there's other things in the pipeline. So I don't know why, but if you, pardon the pun, but if you Google me, I come up first for vision board courses and classes. I now have a Google ad, so that probably helps. But before that, I didn't have anything. It was just natural. So I think that really helped because that was my kind of platform. But I, for some reason, appeal to the US market. I think they're a lot more into this concept. They understand it a lot more. Pardon?
Maybe because you're really good at it.
And they're willing to pay for it, which is awesome.
Absolutely. So how did that journey look like for you? When you first started being approached by all these big companies, did you like freak out a little bit? Because I can imagine, like myself, if I get all of these emails out of the blue from all these companies, I'd be like, little old me, what?
I know.
What told you that?
So what happens is, particularly for the first few, so there was Google, there was Salesforce. So Google, I didn't know was Google for ages because it was an events company. So they were talking about a client and I didn't know who it was for. I should have maybe asked that question, but they were being a bit elusive. And yeah, then Salesforce emailed me and I was, well, you were like, this is amazing. And I was like, okay, it's amazing. I think
it is amazing.
I was just quite chilled. I was like, that's cool. They're interested. And then you kind of freak out a bit because then you're like, well, now I have to seal the deal and I have to deliver it and it has to be good. Yeah. So I didn't know that Google was Google for ages. And then when they casually dropped in to an email, this is Google, I was sat where I'm sat right now. And I literally got goosebumps and I was like, it's Google. And I was like, there's no one here to tell like this. And I had to like run downstairs. My husband wasn't in. And I was like, I need to leave a friend a voice note and just like tell you want to just tell someone. So it was really exciting. And I just kept going, wow, it's Google, it's Google.
And then all these other companies just started to follow the suit.
Exactly. So it was really interesting because all of the ones that I have had so far that have booked have found me. I have not had to go out and find them. Now I am pooling through the Fortune 500 list and I've connected with some amazing people like the executive vice president of people at Nike and Facebook and Apple. So there's lots of dialogue going on and relationship building and nurturing now.
How does it feel to now like leap from selling an odd course here and there to like going out there and having the confidence and the courage to reach out to somebody like head of events at Nike and just be like, hey, I'm doing this, come and book me? And they're like, okay, hell yeah.
Well, I think the thing is that Google is my like advertising, free marketing thing. If you mention that, it's not like I've done the chicken shack down the road, like
so it's given you a lot of credibility, right?
That's the leverage. It gives you the credibility to move forward and like the authority. Particularly now I've done it twice, which is pretty awesome. And that I think has given me the confidence to move forward and just approach people and not. But I'm kind of like that. If I decide to do something, then I do it. Like I decided to write a book, so I wrote it. I'll just go off and do it and then think about it afterwards.
I think everybody needs to hear that again because that is the key to everything. You got to make a decision. And Rachel's made a decision that she's going to be a Fortune 500 coach. And she's just literally ticking them off the list because it's a done deal. Once she's made that decision, it is happening. And I think that's the biggest key to success that anyone can ever get. Right?
It's confidence, it's building it up, it's using the power of affirmations, it's using the power of the vision board. It's not like, let's just go do it. That's probably like 5-6 years of personal development right there. But also, from my corporate experience as well, of just having to get stuff done. That's my kind of go-to. I think that's how my brain works. But I think I then sometimes think about it afterwards and have a wobble, or usually I just get a little bit nervous before I then go and present to somebody.
What does that wobble look like?
Probably, is this the right thing for them? Am I going to be good enough? Can I deliver enough content? Is it going to have the results they need? But then the feedback I get reinforces that is everything that they want, and is awesome. So I think you just have to trust yourself and go with your gut instinct and take
just the evidence to the contrary, right? If your brain's telling you that's not what they need, but perhaps go and get the evidence of the contrary. That's exactly what they need.
Yeah. Fill your confident bank up with inspiration and positivity.
So what's next for you?
What is next? So what is next after Google? We had this conversation, didn't we? So I'm presenting to Target next week, and then I'd really quite like to do Nike, Apple, Facebook, and start switching it around to not just being about personal development, which is huge. You know, they've got a huge amount of staff, so the avenue for that is great, but also turn it into business strategy, user experience, vision boards, and get people understanding that this is like an opportunity to help really get clear on their goals and their strategy and their vision for the business as well as for individuals.
So what's the sort of companies that you're looking for? What's the sort of individuals that you want to be connected with? Perhaps there's somebody watching who knows somebody who might tag them.
Well, I'd love to do this for UK tech companies as well. I feel like I said, people in the States are more open to this, but I think it's the kind of fun, quirky brands that bring their own energy. So like when you present to Google, the chat bar is just like on fire because they're so enthusiastic and they love everything that you're talking about, and it's just a really nice vibe. And then you come away thinking that's great, rather than going to do a presentation and like you're like, is anyone watching? Hello, like you want to have the energy of it. So I think, you know, the kind of cool developing startup tech area is where I see that happening.
I love that. So what are you going to put? What's your 5-year vision for this business?
So I want to go. I want to go and present in the white blazer to Google live on stage, because we've talked about that before. Yeah, I mean the world is the oyster, and I think I want to be able to make it like we talked about. Vision boards are not just for New Year; they're for the whole year. I want to make vision boards not just like you do it once and that's it. So I need to evolve my approach and keep the C-suite level people really engaged with actually how it can empower their business.
What would you say to somebody who has similar goals to you, wants to aim and then go on to coach people who are in that C-suite in tech?
Just do it. Don't be afraid of it. I think try and find like a little doorway in through your network where you will build your confidence and you will feel like you're making good impact and get that good feedback, because that's just going to keep you moving forward. And then that person that you're scared to email or call, use Mel Robbins' 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just do it before your I've forgotten the word, prefrontal cortex, your executive thinking part of the brain kicks in. Just do it, because if you don't do it, that's my kind of concept with approaching the executive VP at Nike. If you don't ask, like, they don't know what you do. So if you don't ask them, how are they going to say yes or no? Like, they can say no, that's fine.
You got to go out there and create your own opportunities, right? And relationships are everything. We keep banging on about it, but I don't think people realize how important it is.
Yeah, and it's about nurturing those relationships and understanding what people need and them seeing what you're doing. So a lot of my clients that come into my masterminds or my individual coaching clients, they've been watching me for a long time and they understand how I work and my kind of style, and then they come to me when they're ready and they're in the right place to develop and move forwards.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So how can people find you?
So I am
interested in your vision board course. They want to learn more about your magic, and they want to become, their own vision
I'm
board.
all over Instagram at Rachel Letham, quite simply. My website is rachelletham.com, and I will share in the link my link to the vision board course, which is available on Teachable. Yeah, and I have a Facebook group for stressed out mums and ambitious mums who want to grow and develop and achieve their goals whilst also maintaining a bit of calm. So it's called From Chaos to Calm. So you can find
I love that group
as well.
You do some great meditations in there, right? What days of the week are they?
Wellness Wednesday. Unless it's Wine Wednesday, and then we roll it a week.
Love that.
It's all about balancing your priorities. And yeah, I do masterclasses in there. There's loads of masterclasses previous. That's where I host my 5-day vision board challenge, which I'm thinking of doing again in the summer. And I'm going to probably host a mindfulness challenge at the beginning of like proper spring, so like May.
Yeah, proper spring. I'm glad you added that because it's meant to be spring here, but all I see is snow and rain and fog. And
I know.
Blue. Hopefully it's coming soon. Thank you so much for coming over here, Rachel. It's been so awesome to share your journey with everyone because hopefully it will inspire people to not just look at the immediate things that are happening for them now, and they will start seeing their mission as something that they can do as well, that things can change in a very, very quick amount of time when you just commit yourself and make a decision and you take that inspired action to move forward like you did.
And don't be afraid to keep changing things as well. So I've done so many different things across my kind of crazy life, and everyone's like, oh, you're doing this now and you're doing this. I'm like, yeah, but there's a path and it evolves, and sometimes you don't realize why you're doing the one thing that then will switch you through to something else. So just keep evolving. Don't worry about that. Don't think that you shouldn't be changing. You'll find your right niche and your right space eventually.
And I think if people put a lot too much importance into what other people think about that, because like chances are nobody will notice if you're not quite there as successful as you could be right now. Most people won't even notice that you've changed something. It's not like you're Coca-Cola trying to be a sponge company all of a sudden. Just let yourself have fun, be playful, and find what you truly want to do, what works best. Right?
For sure.
Thank you so much for coming over and sharing this with us. Guys, I strongly recommend this vision board course. We will drop a link in the comments after this so you can go and check it out, take it, create your own vision for the future that you want. And yeah, we will have Rachel back here soon for another little training on hopefully vision boards or self-care.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, check out your challenge when it comes through next because it's a game changer.
Yeah, it's happening on the 18th of April, I believe. So yeah, come through, guys.
Good stuff.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.